everyone. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? So we have Adam from Salon Comms joining us for a quick chat, just to learn more about telecoms and a bit more about your business really and what you guys do. So thank you firstly for joining us on the Vagaro stand.
You're welcome.
It's lovely to have you. So this is really for anyone that's running a salon, running a business, and wants to learn a little bit more about salon communications. So firstly, could you just tell us more about your business, what you guys do, when you started, and also just kind of what your values are, what you guys stand for the industry?
Yeah, no, sure. I mean, to sort of give you a quick summary on Salon Comms, so communication and connectivity specialists. So it's obviously a massive key factor to any business, especially wellness, health, hair, beauty businesses, because there's so many factors and so many elements to their business that comes through a connection, be that an internet connection or a data connection. So if that falls foul, then suddenly business stops. Money doesn't come in, and then suddenly panic stations, and where'd you go? So to sort of rewind back slightly, so we first started pre-pandemic, so about 3 weeks before, so perfect timing. But obviously that highlighted a whole world of potential issues, and obviously, you know, lots of our customers couldn't get into work. So what we've basically opened up and developed is a mobile app. So it enables every single client to still call in and contact, but it's all through a personal mobile, as opposed to calling in being in with specific four walls of a business. So through the app itself, you can obviously take and make and receive client calls, which is massive. So you're not sort of confined to the four walls of a business now.
Wow, that's pretty innovative actually. So I think what would be really interesting to understand is what industries do you cater for, and what are some of the more specific services that you support salons with?
Okay. So we're specialists in the hair, beauty, wellness sector. So that is obviously all your classic hair salons, beauty salons, aesthetic clinics, nail bars, parlours, barber shops as well, so don't forget the barbers. And yeah, specifically catering for, we understand the market, we understand the necessities for all the connections to be spot on and work 100% of the time. So therefore we've dedicated ourselves, and part of that is our support network. So we know a busy trading day is Saturdays. So we are available and on the phone if you need us on a Saturday and also a Sunday. So we do 7-day support as standard. It's all UK based. So if there is ever any glitch or issue or there's a connection wobble, then we're there. Which I think is absolutely paramount to any business owner, knowing that you've got a safe pair of hands behind the keyboard or behind the phone, just so you can get in touch with us.
Yeah, that's really interesting, because I think this is something that we find at Vagaro as well, that people that work in this industry, they are so creative, they are masters of their craft, but they're not techies. And it doesn't drive them to get out of bed in the morning, it doesn't fill their cup. So having people in the background that can actually, who are experts that can do that for them, that really kind of relieves so much pressure and that kind of headache for them as well, and saves them so much time. So we find the same thing at Vagaro. You know, it's you really can't run your business these days without technology and without the internet. So you know, it's really interesting that you're in this space now, and I think it's only going to get bigger, and people are only going to need it more and more as time goes on.
Yeah, I mean 100%. I think from our perspective, technology is key. It's not sexy, we know that. It's not a shiny, nice product you can look at on the shelf and go, "Ooh, that's very nice." It's very, very low down the pecking order. And obviously, as a business and a foundation, we're very concerned how low down the pecking order that is, because, like you just said, if we take all that away, not only can you not take money, you can't possibly stream music, you can't access your Vagaro software unless you've got a backup. So what do you do? What's plan B? What is plan B? Did you have a plan B? Have you considered it? I know it's quite dull to some, but at the end of the day, you need connection, otherwise you can't take money. And I'm sure no one's dressing hair or painting nails or doing all the wonderful things you guys do for free.
Yeah, it's a really, really good point. So what do you find are some of the more kind of common issues that come up when you're dealing with your customers? Are there particular trends that you're finding?
I think it's more, there's quite a few elements to be honest, but I think connection is bandwidth heavy is what we call it, so there's so much load on just a basic internet connection, and it's probably a basic router, so there are obviously thousands of different brands. There's some household brands that obviously don't need to mention because you know who they are, but it's a very standard setup. They're not sort of thinking about your Wi-Fi range. Do you need a signal in the back stock room as an example? Do you need a signal upstairs in the office? They're just issuing out a router saying, well, you've got broadband, you've got Wi-Fi, job done. Whereas connectivity and obviously Wi-Fi range is massive, because again, that can potentially not cripple a business, but it can obviously hamper what you can and cannot do. And obviously there's frustration. So the last thing you want to be doing is walking around trying to find some signal. We've all been there, we've all done it. So we're really concerned about that as a factor. We offer a Wi-Fi range guarantee as standard. So basically we will do a site survey and make sure that every single element where they need a connection, they've got it. So there's no ambiguity, there's no confusion. It basically is where you want a signal, you get one.
Wow, that's fantastic. Honestly, even if I think about at home, how overwhelming that can be. So when you're running a business and you are really time poor, and you really do just need it to work, that's fantastic to have that resource. Wow. So where are you guys based?
So we're based in the city in London, but we're all over the UK.
So you cover nationwide, all over the UK, any salon type of business. Okay. And how big's the team?
So we've got a team of about 10 of us.
Wow.
So mixture of obviously sales, pre-sales, post-sales, and of course support as well.
Wow. Wow. So it sounds like you've got enough resource to really support those salons. So I guess, would there be any advice that you would give to businesses that may be thinking about trying to take this a bit more seriously? You know, maybe they're just starting their salon. Maybe it's somebody that is literally in the building foundation stage right now, starting a salon. What are those steps? What do they need to, maybe what's the checklist? What should they start thinking about? And at what stage should they reach out to a company like you?
I think, to be honest, connectivity should be high up, one of the highest. Obviously you need your aesthetic-y bit, so your furniture and maybe the wall dressings, etc. But connectivity's got to be right up there for us, because as we just touched on, that's the backbone of any business, especially in this day and age. So if it's not high up the pecking order, then you're potentially setting yourself up for a fall. And obviously that's what we're here to try and help you guys avoid.
Yeah, that makes sense. And how have you found it at Salon International today? What kind of questions have you guys had at your stand? Have there been any kind of interesting conversations that you've had with other salon owners?
I think the main one is we're here basically today in this event is to spread about the big 2025 switch off. So massive awareness piece in the industry. We went to Pro Beauty North 2.5 weeks ago, did a quick survey. We asked 200 people, all salon owners, what do you guys know about the 2025 switch off?
I don't know what that is. So do you guys know what that is? No? Okay, one person in the crowd knows what that is. So do you want to just tell us?
Yeah, of course. So sort of just touch back on that last point. So it was a 98% was, I have no idea.
Same as our crowd here.
So pretty unanimous again by the looks of it, guys. Massive change. So technology is changing. The way we connect, the way we talk, it's all shifting towards a digital age. So anyone who's on an analog-based phone or an older-based broadband connection, even an old card payment machine reader, they all come under that same umbrella. So we're asking basically all salon owners to basically check their tech to make sure they've got everything on a basically a future-proof basis, because once 2025 hits, Mr. BT is going to flick a big switch, and if you haven't made the switch, so basically what they call voice over IP, so it's basically running a telephone line over the top of an internet connection. Again, that's why we're here, because we're the experts. We can walk you through the process. We're not going to sort of drill down on all the jargon. But yeah, that's essentially, if you don't make the change, then you could lose your main telephone number. Plus, your internet could just drop dead, and you could lose maybe your alarm, and obviously if you're streaming music, anything again that requires that broadband connection could suddenly just stop. And once it's gone, there's no going back.
That's pretty much every aspect of running a business: receiving phone calls, receiving bookings online, receiving inquiries on your website, and having internet that's functioning in your salon.
Correct.
For clients. Wow. So why don't people know about this? Why is this such a big secret?
The secrets, there shouldn't be a secret, but I guess this is why we feel our duty to the industry to basically publicise what's happening, because we're working very closely with NHBF now, which is great. So they're obviously sort of banging the drum for us on our behalf, and obviously to members and non-members alike, which is great. But yeah, to be honest, the industry as a whole is sort of sleepwalking into Armageddon, as we call it, because the awareness isn't there yet, and obviously we're running out of time.
Yeah, so this is great just to be able to prepare your business, and you've got about a year roughly to get that organised. Wow. So I guess we've covered quite a bit. I think this has been a really good overview of what Salon Comms are, what you guys represent, what you do. I personally have learned some new things now, so thank you for that.
Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you for being a friend of Vagaro and joining us at our stand today.
That's been brilliant, guys, and thanks for having me along. And obviously, guys, speak to us, speak to Vagaro. Great team.
Thank you.